It was my last year of high school, and the first major memory is that it was in between second and third period, and I was at my locker when my sister came up to me and said that something had happened at the World Trade Center, either a bombing or there was some talk about a plane. And my first thoughts wasn't to laugh it off, but right away I thought, oh, again, something else happened, and we won't have Channel 11 for another week while they figure it all out, like the bombing in '94. And then I immediately went into third period, and I was yucking it up with my friends, and 5 minutes had gone by and the teacher hadn't walked in yet. And so we waited, and 10 minutes went by. And then finally the door opened, and she walked in, and she stood there at her desk for a good another 30 seconds, trying to compose herself. And then the first words she said was that the two towers were gone. They were no more, and everybody that inside was dead. And so there was obviously, the air was sucked out of the room, and we sat there trying to comprehend what she said, and people started asking questions, and she explained everything she knew. And then there was the announcement on the loudspeaker, and we all went to the auditorium where we were told what happened. And I immediately went to my friends whose parents were in the city, and most of them in the financial sector, and were in the towers every day. And of course, no word for hours, like late into the night, for them. So we went home, and I stayed on the phone with them and trying to find out what was going on and stuff. So really, for me, the whole event, it was about hearing people's stories, and my worldview since then has changed, and it really impacted my life. Seeing the way people who had faith had lost faith, and people who had no faith now had faith, and it was just fascinating to me to see how just humans, in a very raw emotional event, how their entire lives and focus changed, their priorities changed. In a lot of ways it changed me in a way that how I viewed the world, and what these sort of events, what they do to us, and what are our, what are we rooted in, what do we believe in, what drives us, can change on a dime when something of this caliber happens.